Handlock, and of course standard Control Warrior.
Ooh.
That's a pretty good start here for Weifu.
That's a great hand. There's an Execute, which is nice for Forsen, but he's going to need a little bit more if he wants to be able to handle the Mountain Giants back-to-back from Weifu. Weifu doesn't have a turn 2 or 3 play, though, so there might be a realistic scenario where he just passes on turn 3.
Yeah, this is going to be a little bit awkward for Handlock. If
There
they're
we
on
go.
the coin and they get stuck with, well, not stuck with, and they draw their Mountain Giants earlier on. Yeah, Earthen Ring Farseer is big. Having that play on turn 3.
Well,
There's not much removal.
there's
being
nothing
done.
really else to do here other than Earthen Ring.
Yeah. Still can follow it up with Mountain Giant after Mountain Giant. It's going to force him to be able to, or to have to draw into this removal.
But yeah, it's like annoying enough to the point where you don't want to use your cool Taskmaster. He's seriously considering shield block. Wow. All right. Well, he's got another shield block too, so he's just trying to dig deeper into his deck so he can get to his shield slam as well.
Yeah, well, he knows if he just keeps going to status quo right now, then he's going to run out of removal really quickly. His hand isn't that great. He has 1 Execute, so he'll be able to deal with the first threat. But after that, it's going to be pretty rough unless he... Oh, second execute.
That's so big.
That is very big. So yeah, both these Mountain Giants are going to be able to get taken care of. And aside from that, Forsen's Curve is actually pretty good here. He's got a lot of drops. Baron Gideon is not the greatest card against Handlock.
No, but it still is a card.
Puts a threat, yeah. Big threat on the board.
I think in the back of his mind, Weifu is also worried about Shield Slam. So even if he tapped and played the Giant, his opponent can simply armor up and Shield Slam from that point on. That might prompt him to play Lotheb or even the Azure Drake before he drops his Mountain Giant. Even though normally it's like, well, yeah, sure, I have double Giants, I should go in for it.
Would you use the coin yet?
Use the coin for...
Dark Bomb. You'd be emptying 3 cards out of your hand, so you'd still be able to play Mountain Giant next turn.
I guess that is a possibility, but I think I generally favor either playing on Curve or playing the Twilight Drake. I think I'd be okay with the Drake.
And then that way, he could have gone face with the Earthen Ring Farseer to make it so Armor Up Shield Slam wouldn't be able to kill the
Yeah,
Twilight
I guess.
Drake
That's
straight off.
pretty cute, I suppose, if that's the way you wanted to go about it. But I think this line of play is perfectly fine as well.
Yeah.
And you know what? This Armor Smith can still stay relevant right behind the Sludge Belcher. It still can activate for Execute.
Yeah.
And as long as your opponent doesn't have Mortal Coil. So Weifu's like, okay, well, it doesn't look like he has an easy, convenient way to deal with this Drake.
Yeah.
So maybe it's time I can play the Giant. This is something he might be considering. Of course, if he's still really safe about it, he might opt to just drop Lotheb instead. But the thing is, he doesn't have a clean way to follow up. Like, he can't kill off the first body. He doesn't have a Mortal Coil. Everything else in his hand is very situational, like, and it's not going to be for now, like Shadow Flame, Siphon Soul, etc.
Yeah, and you don't want to waste the Dark Bomb. Well, not really waste it, but you don't want to not utilize all the value from Dark Bomb, like using it to clear off the body from the Sludge Belcher. Not very good.
You might be even able to tap and get into Mortal Coil, perhaps, and then still play the Mountain Giant.
That's true.
So if you tap, and then worst comes to worst, you might even just, like, oh, you can coin the Sludge Belcher.
Yeah.
Actually, I think that's pretty good.
It is. It's very good. And I like Forsen being a little bit more conservative with his removal as well. Since he only has it in his hand, he can find other ways to deal with the Twilight Drakes. And save the Execute for a higher priority target like the Giants. Well, he's got a lot of life gain in his hand.
Yeah, you know, I've been talking to a few Handlock players, and they feel like there's just so, like Warriors just outvalued you way too much now because they have so many cards that just naturally 2-for-1 or like put you out of range of dying.
Yeah.
And that's where like Forsen really has to navigate his way through this matchup, because if he can get closer to his big game hunters, manage his resources very efficiently throughout the game, he'd be in a really good spot.
Yeah, well, it's where if you can just get through that early game, being able to remove the first couple big threats, then you just have so many big bodies now. Like Shieldman not only is it a life gain, but it also puts that body on the board, which forces the handlock to have to deal with it. And eventually, you can play conservatively and just sort of run the handlock out of steam. And you don't want to go too late, but there's going to be a lot of windows of opportunity later on where you can burst them down.
Dr. Boom.
Yes, indeed.
So I suppose he's going to kill off the first body and then just leave the 1-2 slime. Then if the Twilight Drake kills it off, there's 5 damage remaining from the Death Spite. So this is a pretty nice move, especially since he has Dr. Boom in hand now. He can set up a play to Whirlwind effects, have Dr. Boom unleash its boom bots, and have an opportunity to maybe even clear the board. Depends on how this goes.
Yeah, he even has the execute to be able to clean up something astray that might be thrown out that you won't be able to clear with the Doom bot. That'll be procced by the Deathbite Death Rattle anyway.
Well, I mean, I think that's why he's going to prompt him to use Lotheb, because Lotheb will deny that. So if you tap, play Lotheb. The alternative is to play Mountain Giant and taunt one of them. But
just taunt the Mountain Giant to protect your
opens you up to Black Knight. I guess you did test for it earlier with your own Sludge Belcher. That is a possibility.
Yeah.
You do put out a lot of stats, though. Like, almost an insane amount of stats if you do for the Mountain Giant plus Taunt, but I think Lotheb is much better.
Yeah.
You put him in an awkward spot where he has to, like, choose between which 5 health creature he wants to kill.
Yeah.
Well, I guess not anymore. Here we go, Dr. Boom time. See if you can snipe one of these minions.
This would be pretty good. He'll only need
just 2 damage a pop. Or maybe 1!
Oh, no!
Oh, that was the worst outcome possible.
Yeah. He only got 1 damage on the 1 bomb that hit the Twilight Drake. That's rough.
Well, you know what? He still has armor abilities with the Shield Maiden and Shield Slam, so even if a big threat comes out, he still has an answer, and Dr. Boom still exists.
Yes, it does.
But this gives an opportunity for Weifu to kind of respond in his own fashion. I think he might use Dark Bomb here and then the Mountain Giant. Or is he going to be playing another Twilight Drake? I don't know. He'll tap, though, for sure, either way beforehand.
Yeah.
I like it. He's playing very well so far. Weifu's sticking to his guns. He's really afraid of a BGH swing.
Yeah. So he's trying to bait out a lot of removal and get as much mileage out of these Twilight Drakes as he possibly can. Usually it's pretty enticing to just throw down that Mountain Giant, especially since it was in his opening hand with his other one, but just so hard to be able to do that. And here comes more removal. So even though you're losing that board, it still feels pretty good to start getting those out of the way.
Well, now Weifu picks up the Ironbeak Owl. I'm not sure if that's useful. I guess against Sylvanas it is, but
yeah,
generally speaking, doesn't feel like incredible unless you use on your own Ancient Watchers. Is it time to finally play your own threat?
I think it is. What else is he going to do in this situation?
He could play anti-Killbot, tap, and then recombobulate it.
True. That's a really good play, actually.
If you do that though, you give initiative to your opponent on board. He can kill off the recombobulate pretty easily.
Yeah,
he might have Gore Howl.
And you're getting really far away from your Mountain Giant, from your Molten Giants. And the anti-Killbot's really great once you get to that range where you can Molten Giant. Because playing a Molten Giant and an anti-Killbot in the same turn is really strong.
But you get to tap.
You do get to tap.
Well, I guess you get to tap in this scenario too, because you'll play Mountain Giant, tap, and then most likely taunt it.
Everybody gets a tap today.
Oh, wait. Does he tap? If he taps, does he die? No, there's no way. Oh, so he doesn't tap. Interesting.
He's probably pretty happy with it. Wait, no, he could. Oh, I guess he might value the taunts a little bit more. I'm not sure.
Well, Forsen draws the Execute activator. The cool Taskmaster could put 1 damage onto this giant, followed by an Execute. Now, does he restrain himself afterwards? Does he like weapon up and then just not attack and then hold on to the Shield Maiden? How much life does he feel comfortable leaving his opponent?
Well, with turn 10, even 5 health is... So he'd be at 15, so it'd be a 5 mana Molten Giant. That's still a little bit of an awkward turn, because either way, you're only going to be able to lay 1 Molten Giant, because if your opponent's going to face like that, that means that they're going to be threatening at least something soon.
Well, he's going to use his minion as removal now then, and then play another Shield Maiden. Yeah, you know what? This is also cool because you get mileage out of this Fiery War Axe.
Yeah.
There's not really many targets other than these taunt givers, like
Yeah.
the Defender of Argus and the Sunfree Protector.
Yeah.
Even the Owl that you chop down.
And holding on to that Executes, you want to hold on to it as long as you possibly can. If there's a way that you can reliably and safely clear a big threat off the board without having to use a removal, I think it's always a good idea to do that, just because
Listen to music.
you know there's going to be inevitable Molten Giants.
So you just do it again, right?
The same thing, yeah.
Oh wow, he has a Ragnaros now. I think he can slam this baby down because he's already played a Molten Giant at full health. So he can't double swing you. And he's already played both Mountain Giants. This is a pretty powerful play if Forsen goes for this Ragnaros.
Yeah, there's not many downsides to going to this. Even if it goes face, you still have some things to fall back on.
Well, it's going to be Siphon Soul either way. It's just about whether or not he makes this play to bait out the removal. I think ideally he wants to get the Shield Maiden removed, though. Like Siphon Soul on the Shield Maidens. That way he can drop Ragnaros afterwards.
Yeah.
I think you really have to hold on to the reins of aggression.
Yeah. Maybe this is a little bit better. But either way, I mean, the Warlock's drawn through so much of his deck by this point. It's likely that he'll have 2 ways to be able to deal with it, but I guess forcing his hand and forcing him to have to remove that. Well, I guess either way he would have had multiple ways because he drew into the BGH, so.
Yeah, but I think he might feel obligated to Siphon Soul here. He doesn't have Hellfire and like an easy way to clear with Dark Bomb. And if you use Siphon Soul on this 5/5, that might prompt Forsen to get excited and play a big threat, and then that gets big game huntered. And just like the handlock has so many cards in hand. I want to look over see how many cards remain in his deck. He's got 11 versus 14. Wow, I feel like handlock's tapped way more than that, but I guess I'm wrong. I thought he was like close to like 7 or 8 cards remaining with Jiraxis not in hand.
Well, Forsen also had some pretty decent cards early on. He's gone through both shield blocks, so I mean, I think he's tapped about 6 or 7 times this game. So that's pretty good. So that means he's tapped in about 75% of his turns so far.
Do you drop anything just so that you can utilize his weapon charge?
Well, now he has to.
Yeah. Recon Bibler is not really doing much.
Yeah. There's only one. Well, there's a couple pretty good targets left for it. The Ancient Heal Bot.
Oh, that is such a big deal. Harrison Jones, like you might not think it is, but it shuts out the Jiraxis from doing 24 damage over the course of 8 turns. So, like, and it's a way for you to secure a lot of the cards in. So I think Harrison Jones is going to be a really big deal in this game.
Yeah.
If it comes down to Jiraxis, it might not, but.
Well, I think it might.
The fact that he has it in the deck is like really, really good.
I think it might because the Warlock's Weifu's hand right now is all situational stuff. He doesn't have any way to threaten the board, and Forsen's just gonna armor up every turn and keep getting more and more. Basically, what Weifu's gonna do is just focus on keeping himself safe and clearing the board every turn. So I think eventually the Jiraxis will have to come out. There's only one real big threat left, and that's the last Molten Giant for Weifu. So, and he's sort of running low on cards as well. So having that card advantage from being able to take away Jiraxis' hands is pretty good.
Well, Barry get in here. Usually bait out the big game hunter, so that way like BGH won't get swept by Baron Get in the future.
Yeah.
It also gives him an opportunity to play something else, so he can play big game hunter with the Sludge Belcher, which he acquired on the previous tap,
Yeah.
and even the Ancient Watcher. This is still a pretty decent hand. Now the last bits of removal that he's worried about, the remaining Shield Slam and the Brawl. Those are the two big things in the back of Weifu's mind, so he has to be careful not to overextend too much on the board. Forsen, does he have another answer easy for removal like Black Knight? No, he's got half of the Brawl combo.
Yes, he does.
Well,
Rag is really his only play.
Rag just needs to hit. Well, actually anything would be fine.
Yep.
Probably Big Game Hunter would be his ideal target, so that way he takes the most damage off the board.
Yeah, and if it hits, ooh.
Well, that's a little awkward, especially if your opponent has the Jiraxis now. But
yeah,
he doesn't have to use Siphon Soul.
He can Shadow Flame and throw the Big Game Hunter.
Yeah.
Wow.
Or he can Mortal Coil and
use
something else. But
is he worried about his health total with not having Jiraxis in his hand though? Silence and something else? I don't think so. 4 health.
Well, if you kill off Rag and then Mortal Coil, that's fine. You can taunt up afterwards if you don't get Jiraxis. I think he really wants Jiraxis right now.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with trading this in and getting Jiraxis and playing it. Now, of course, he doesn't know that Harrison Jones is waiting on the other side as another Mortal Coil Troll-tastically comes into hand. But now that he doesn't have it, he's going to have to heal up and taunt.
Still pretty good series of play, though. But, I mean, he is running out of juice a little bit. Double Shadow Flame, double Sun Fury Protector in his hand.
I mean, as long as he's not starting to take too much fatigue damage, as long as Jiraxis is not the 30th card in his deck, Handlock's still going to be okay, I think.
He's got to get through a lot of armor, though. What does he have to chink down that armor? Besides Jiraxis and 1 Molten Giant.
You know, that's a good question. But if he Jiraxis the Infernals, as long as you can create the Infernals, you still got threats.
Yeah.
Well, this kind of sucks if you're Forsen. You don't exactly have the Brawl yet, but I guess the icing on the cake is it's not exactly the most threatening board.
Oh, no!
I guess his rationale is if I wait long enough anyways and Jiraxis comes out, I might not even be able to draw as many cards anyways without killing myself in fatigue.
I think he can wait a little bit longer.
He's at 44 health.
I think he's okay for now.
Yep.
44 health with 3 damage on the board.
Well, this will prompt Weifu to use his Owl on his Ancient Watcher, especially now that he picked a Defender of Argus. So now you can build up a better, stronger, more resilient board. Oh, he wants Jiraxis again, so he's going to Mortal Coil for it.
Wow.
Here we go. Is it Jiraxis time? 5 cards remain.
Oh,
seriously? Oh,
it might just be the 30th card in his deck.
Well, that stinks. Okay, so then as long as Brawl is not the 30th card in Forsen's deck,
then he'll be okay.
Yeah.
Well, even then, even if it's not the 30th card, he still has 11 cards left. He's got a lot to go through still.
Here's a question. You're most likely gonna Owl and Defender of Argus, but do you tap because you want to get closer to Jiraxis?
I don't know. I think tapping at this point might be a little bit dangerous, but at the same time, once you do draw into Jiraxis, you're getting rid of your card draw mechanic. So his hand isn't the greatest right now.
More importantly, what if Jiraxis is 2 cards away and he doesn't tap now and he doesn't get Jiraxis? That's the big question. Oh wow, he's playing around Brawl, and this kind of pressure is nothing on the board. So Forsen's just gonna pass it right back over. It's not Jiraxis. What if Jiraxis? I bet Jiraxis is the next card, the 3rd to last card.
I'm saying it's the 30th.
Well, I mean,
or maybe he was playing around with his deck a little bit. No, you know, making some changes.
I know what you're saying.
Forgot to put in Jiraxis.
I know what you're saying, and his teammate definitely did not troll him and put Jiraxis out of his deck.
There's times when, like, I was like playing around with a rogue deck, and I left out my Gadgetzan Auctioneers.
The troll face.
Yep.
Well, here's a thing too. Forsen can play the waiting game. There's 3 power on board, and Weifu's not actually threatening. He seriously needs to contemplate whether or not he wants to put Owl in pressure. I would have done it last turn, because even if it brawled, it wouldn't have been that bad. But he's going to hold on once again.
Wow.
What?
And Death
All
Spite
right.
is...
I mean, Forsen's like, well, clearly he doesn't have Jiraxis. He would have played it by now. There's like, you can make this assumption, right, that he doesn't have Jiraxis. It's actually unreasonable to be holding on this long.
Yeah.
Oh, I like it too. You know, he's not going to Whirlwind yet to clear. It's not Jiraxis.
Oh, wow.
Well, this Molten Giant's coming out this turn for sure, because you need to play Molten Giants before Jiraxis, right?
Yep, you do.
Well, I guess you could hold it off, but don't you want the pressure? Don't you want him to brawl already?
Yeah, well, I mean, he was afraid to put his Ironbeak Owl into a brawl, so maybe he's just playing that conservatively,
Well,
but...
The thing is, if you Owl, you have to Defender to follow it up because you need the taunts.
Yeah.
So he probably felt like if he played an Owl in Defender, that's 5 targets on the board. I need a good post-Jiraxis hand. I need Taunters if Jiraxis comes out to protect him from Gromosh.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think there's any other play than throwing down the Molten Giant here. But what does he have? 2 cards or 3 cards left?
He's got 2 cards remaining.
2 cards remaining.
Hellfire's also feeling a little dead here.
Yeah, because he's just going to kill his own board.
All right. Back onto Forsen. Acolyte of Pain plus double Whirlwind?
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
And he still has 1 Shield Slam left in his deck.
He does.
There it is!
Oh!
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
This is going to be a nice, clean... Maybe not that clean, but pretty clean.
It's
clear.
almost as clean as it gets.
Yeah. And now that he knows the Molten Giants are gone,
well, I mean, at
he
this
can be
point,
pretty safe.
he was threatened to kill from the very beginning. Is this Jiraxis? No! Jiraxis is the 30th card in his deck.
Wow.
I don't know if he can win anymore, because the problem is
I don't think so. I don't know.
you die in 5 turns to fatigue.
Yeah.
5 turns is 15 damage to fatigue.
Yeah.
You need to stack every single not to mention he has Harrison, but you need to stack every single Inferno to do what looks like to be almost 50 damage over the course of those turns, because you might be able to get some damage with Defender Vargas. To do 50 damage means you have to stack at least 3 Infernos to be able to get to that point, damaging every turn. And if he has Brawl, that's not going to happen. So I think almost mathematically, as long as Brawl is not the 30th card in Forsen's deck... Well, actually, no, he has Harrison Jones. He's going to grab it no matter what.
Yeah. And
so actually, there's just almost no way.
And even then, even if you're not going through 5 turns of fatigue, that's assuming that your opponent's not going to be able to put any damage on you, which is unlikely.
Well, he's got actually Siphon Soul, so maybe that can install for the 6th turn, right? You can heal yourself. He used his Antique Heal bot.
Yeah. Still, though.
Wow.
Not looking good.
That is so unfortunate for Weifu that Jiraxis is the last card.
If he's going to heal with Jiraxis next turn, he knows that.
He's worried about dying. I mean, what if his opponent has Gromosh right here?
That's true.
I mean, we didn't analyze the board state, but Weifu's like, he has to expend his last Taunt Giver because he's worried that he might die. Which is humorous because there's no way Forsen's killing him this turn.
Yeah.
Forsen actually should be okay playing Alexstrasza. He kills this and Alex draws his opponent because he knows his opponent has Jiraxis.
Yeah.
And he already just played everything else.
Yeah. Wow, this is crazy. It's very rare to see Jiraxis as the last card. I guess in a way you think about it, it's very rare to see any card as the last card.
Well, not if you have like 5 Flame Strikes in an arena deck.
Yeah. Then
He holds on his weapon attack in case he gets Gromosh. Welcome to the game, Jiraxis.
Well, at least he can now sleep comfortably knowing that he didn't forget to include Jiraxis in his deck.
Yeah. I suppose not. Now, the nice caveat is he actually still can deal with this Alexstrasza. The problem with playing Jiraxis is you can't deal with this 8/8, but thankfully he can at the moment.
Do you want to just wait for Jiraxis and try and get lower so you get more value?
Oh,
out of it?
if you play Jiraxis, he just uses Death Spite and then deal 8 damage to Jiraxis.
Yeah.
Because he kills off both of the taunts with one swing. You legit have to kill Alexstrasza right now?
think you do. But you use your whole board to kill it?
I mean, I guess you can silence your Ancient Watcher and then use Dark Bomb.
Yeah.
Oh, that feels so bad. Oh my gosh.
You're not afraid to use
Talk
a lot
about
of your cards.
desperate times calls for desperate measures.
Yeah. I mean, he knows he's going to start spawning those Infernals, so
Okay.
his cards aren't going to be that much value to him now, but still. Wow.
Alright, well, Acolyte is fine.
Is it, though?
Yeah, it's fine.
But if you're planning on using Harrison Jones on the Jiraxis, you're going to get yourself closer to Fatigue with giving him card draws.
It's until you hit Fatigue, it doesn't matter, because your opponent's on Fatigue as well.
How many cards does Forsen have left in his deck?
Forsen is like 4 or 5.
Okay. I like that he plays the Harrison here with it. If you're going to play the Acolyte, you got to play the Harrison too.
Okay, well, now it's to the point where, like, he just needs to draw Brawl, and, like, as long as Brawl, again, is not the 30th card in his deck, it'll be fine, because there's still 4 turns. Well, I guess this will most likely draw, unless he silences it. But if he silences it, he can't play Jiraxis.
Yeah, and then he's still back at square one where he's just going to die to Grommash if that's the card that's waiting.
Yeah. This is really difficult, because when is it going to be appropriate time to play Jiraxis now? If you don't have... If now is not the time, when is the time? You need to start building up those Infernals. I don't think he can. Like I think it's gone too long before he's played Jiraxis. Again, he needs 3 or 4 turns of non-stop Infernals hitting the face and force him to not have Brawl or an answer to kill him immediately.
If he was able to play the Jiraxis on one of those turns where he played the Mortar Coil and draw into it, this game would have been in a completely different state than it is right now.
The only move here I see is to kill off Harrison, play Jiraxis, and kill off the Acolyte. He's going to be at 14 health, fine, live with it, but you just have to hope that he doesn't have Grommash. This is the only play.
Either way, you're pretty much dead to Grommash, so there's nothing else. And well, the Grommash draw ends the game right now.
Oh, there it is.
He had 2 draws that turn to be able to get it, so...
Both of these guys had their finishers at the very bottom of your deck. The third to last card was Grommash, and Weifu is devastated. Look at him.
Yeah, that is rough.
God, I can't believe Jiraxis was his 30th card. He played pretty well, too, granted the circumstances.
Yeah. And
Willy combination, look at that. Ancient Watcher and Ironbeak Owl to start things off.
Yeah.
You can't really respond to that very easily in the early game. Late game, you have lots of options as Priest, but not in the first few turns of the game.
Well, let's think about what additional things Priest gained in GVG that helps them be able to deal with Handlock.
Vol'jin.
Vol'jin is great for what, Twilight Drakes?
Twilight Drakes or Mountain Giants. Anything on turn 4 that comes out.
Mountain Giants, really? I guess it trades 1 for 1, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you just play Vol'jin and you have a minion like a Dark Cultist, and then you have a 6/11 on the board.
Yeah.
Vol'jin's great. Surprisingly, like, all the little small things that might not make that big of a difference. Like, you can deal with Twilight Drakes in the late game with Shrinkmeister and Cabal Shadow Priest.
Yeah.
Even Light of Naru is actually pretty good too, because that's a 1-mana 3-damage nuke. So a lot of times if you have Auchenai, it might be like your finishing blow if you have the ability to burst your opponent. Because that's just one thing Priest lacks. That said, Priest is still in a really awkward spot because people haven't fully fleshed out yet what they want to do with it. So it's not exactly like ideal at the moment.
Yeah, the decks we're seeing are basically just standard old control Priest, but with Vol'jin, Shrinkmeisters added in. Sometimes the Light of the Naru, so...
Look at this. You have an ability to take out this Ancient Watcher with Pyromancer number 2, though.
Yeah, this is pretty good. Because normally a Warlock, a Handlock against a Priest, has the luxury of being able to go aggressive like this early on because it can be hard to deal with those Watchers.
Do you use Pyromancer or do you use like a circle combo? Either way, you're giving up a coin that you don't really want to use. Because if you use the coin with the Pyromancer, that coin is not actually going to do anything.
Yeah. Still, though, I like the coin play because, I mean, you talked about it a little bit earlier. Auchenai can be a way to help you close out a game against the Handlock.
Sure.
Because if you get to that point and you just can't find those last points of damage to be able to close out the game, then Handlocks can stabilize with Draxus, and then Draxus is really hard to deal with for Priest because they just don't have any way to close out the game or take out the Infernals.
Forsen has a pair of interesting 7-mana minions with Trogzor and Dr. Boom.
This is actually
both very problematic.
This is actually a variation of Handlock that I've actually seen a lot on ladder. Most ladder Handlocks that I've seen are running Trogzor. A lot of times Dr. Boom as well, but Trogzor seems to be a staple now in a lot of the ladder Handlocks.
It's so interesting because like these 7-mana minions don't couple with Shadow Flames. So it's like in my mind, if they don't have like that capability or a big influencer like Alex Straza, like, I don't run it in Handlock, but I guess they're just experimenting, you know.
Maybe in a couple months, people will be looking back at this time and say, "Man, we were idiots when we were putting Trogzor in Handlock. What were we thinking?"
A few people are doing that already. They're calling out the other pros who think Trogzor is a good card.
Yeah, I don't like Trogzor. I think he's very clunky, and I think he doesn't provide enough stats for the benefit that he gains, and a lot of the time he's just really easily ignored. And you can't play him if you know that he's just gonna get traded next turn. He's great on an empty board against classes who primarily use spells to clear, but that's it.
Oof. Oh man, Vol'jin's gonna do some serious work.
Oh yes.
Holy cow. Man, Vol'jin's so nasty. That's my vote as the best legendary class card.
Yeah, I will agree. Well, I mean,
or in GVG, sorry.
In the game.
Tyrion's just like really high up there too.
I think Vol'jin's close to as good as Tyrion. I think he fits like a.
You think so? Tyrion can like 1 for 5 cards, man.
But
that's crazy.
But I mean, Vol'jin's a 5-drop. Like he can swing games a lot earlier than Tyrion can. Like they play like different roles. Like if you think of all big class legendaries that like completely change the way a game works.
Tyrion itself is a win condition. Vol'jin's like a support swing card like Black Knight. Like I mean, Black Knight can win you the game straight up, but you need more than just Black Knight. You need Black Knight plus whatever follows up.
Yeah.
Tyrion by itself is like 21 damage at least. Maybe even 27 if you get the Divine Shield at full value.
Yeah. That's true. I still like Vol'jin though. He's up there. He's close.
Alright, man.
Nothing beats Draxus though. Come on now.
Draxus is pretty wild.
Get real, Frodan.
Forgot about that card too. That's going to be really relevant sooner or later.
Yeah.
In the meantime, this is a pretty serious amount of damage on the board, so Forsen playing defensive and Siphon Souling this is absolutely reasonable. Now we start getting into the stages of the game too, where it's like, well, are you afraid of Priest ever having the burst to kill you? Which always is something that you don't really consider, but look, with Naru and Holy Nova, that's still 5 extra damage plus the 6 on board. He's only 5-6 points damage off lethal.
Yeah, and Forsen's hand is actually pretty clogged. Those 2 7-drops you were talking about, they don't really combo with anything.
You can take out.
You can mortal coil your own Doombot for some.
Oh, you're right.
Extra way to you draw a card and
that's
have a
pretty
little
cool.
nuke. Yeah.
To mortal coil your own Doombot or Boombots. I guess that's just more of like a
Boombot.
That's more. Yeah, I mean that's not really like a play that you resort to a lot.
It's not a high impact play. It's just sort of a cheeky play.
Well, it's if you need a draw.
That's true. A lot of times your Mortal Coil might not be.
There was times in the past where people had to Leroy and then Mortal Coil the Whelp that would come on the other side.
Yeah.
To try and draw into lethal.
Yeah.
Don't know if that'll ever be the case, but maybe there's a scenario where you have to Mortal Coil your own Boombot to draw into Dark Bomb to try to lethal.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty neat, don't you think?
Yeah, it would. So he ropes out and ends up just healing up his own Dark Cultist and throwing down the Akanai Soul Priest. So he's going on the aggressive move here.
Yep. How much damage does he have if it lives? It's got 9 plus 2 of the hero power, that's 11, plus 3 from the Light of Naru, that's 14, plus Holy Nova, that's 16.
That's really close.
That's really close. He's 1 damage off lethal right now.
Wait. Okay.
Unless I'm missing something. Did I count wrong? Once again, 9 plus 2 is 11, plus 3 is 14, plus 2 is 16.
No, I think you counted right. He's going to count up, though. But there's still a lot of plays that he can still make here.
Oh. Boombots, maybe?
Steal the Boombots?
Steal the Boombot, kill off your opponent's Boombot, deal damage, deal at least 3 damage to face, and lethal. Because if you deal 3 damage with Boombot, you still hero power and Light of Naru. That's 5 plus the 14. Yeah. Wait, you have to do 3 damage, right? Yeah.
You'd have to do at least 3 damage
So
and it would have to go to face.
If you shield Shadow Madness, it's a 50-50.
It's a 50-50 for whether or not the bomb hits face.
You can also circle of healing. No, that doesn't actually do anything.
No, that would do damage to you, and you risk losing.
Yeah. So I was like, what if you did that to clear off Dr. Boom? But so you Shadow Madness to 1/1, you attack it. It's a 50-50 to do damage.
Here we go.
It's a 50-50 from there to do 3 or more. Or
oh no!
Oh, for
Wow.
only 1 damage.
Oh jeez.
That was really close. That was really close.
That
oh
was
man,
dangerously close. And actually, he doesn't even end up doing anything after that. He took too long to make the turn, so he just ended up healing, doing damage. Well,
doesn't want to evoke the wrath of Molten Giants. But now Shadow Flame is a very realistic threat. Thankfully for Weifu, though, there is no Shadow Flame.
yeah. Well, he could have pretty efficiently cleared off the Doombot as well. Throw the Dark Cultist in, buff up the Sludge Belcher, and then you'd have enough health to keep your Sludge Belcher alive with the Dr. Boom being dead.
Yeah. I mean, he was definitely thinking about the math about that. It was about a 25% chance it happened the way it would. 75% chance it could have stopped whoever it did. So
he could just completely won the game right there. But
I like that. I like that. It was like he's still not in threat of losing.
Yeah.
The only thing is he does give up Shadow Madness, so the Sludge Belcher coming down is actually like pretty powerful considering that he can't deal with it anymore.
Yeah, and now this puts it at a Shrinkmeister rate. No, it doesn't.
Nope, not yet.
Not yet.
Shrinkmeister would be so nasty.
Oh, wow.
Off the top, just rip it, Weifu.
Oh, no, okay. Well, it puts it out of Shadow Word Pain range. So
Also true.
I guess that's a benefit here.
Well, I think you just zapped the Dr. Boom, right, with Light of Naru.
Yeah.
Am I saying it right? Naru?
Light of the Naru?
Is it Naru?
I think it's Naru.
The double A confuses me. I prefer it to be like Swedish or German, where they just add a lot of umlauts and stuff at the top to make it simpler.
Okay. I'm sorry that you struggle with those double A's.
It's not my native tongue, man. Well, here you gotta. I think if you do that, then how do you get past the Sludge Belcher? It's still pretty problematic. Your hero power is really nice to leverage. Is there a play with Circle of Healing as well? No, probably. You want to keep the Akanai as strong as possible.
Yeah.
Like she is your burst damage at this stage.
Yeah, I think you have to hero power to clear this off.
Well, looks like he's might just zap the Dr. Boom to finish this off.
Then he can even steal
Okay.
the...
He got a full board clear. This is nice.
Yeah.
Still a little susceptible to Shadow Flame.
Oh! Off the top.
Dang. Now, unfortunately, he looks like he has to give up his Molten Giant.
Yeah.
But that's okay, because he's got Jiraxis.
Yeah, he was...
The Erida Lord of the Burning Legion.
Yeah. If there was if that Cabal Shadow Priest had 1 less health, then it could have been he could have anti-heal pot,
Mortal
Shadow
Coil.
Flame, Mortal Coil, but
Whatever.
this is still good. Still great. Great,
I
great,
actually
great.
think I prefer to keep Antique Healbot for post Jiraxis.
Yeah.
Because it's going to come a case where you're going to play Jiraxis, and then he's going to be hitting you right after you Jiraxis, and then you need to heal up. So I think playing Jiraxis here is perfectly fine.
There's a lot more mana to float when you're in Jiraxis too, because you're playing
He's got
2 mana
Trogzor.
6/6. So
Can he Trogzor now too? I guess he could.
why not? What else are you gonna use Trogzor
The
for?
problem is if you Trogzor and he mind controls, and then you can't really play Jiraxis, can you?
You still get a 3/5.
You get a 3/5, you're right, but it's up against a 6/6.
Yeah, but then you can clear off the.
Yeah, I suppose you're right. It's not. I guess it's not so bad. It's
Yeah.
just I'm always worried about building up a board so big that you can't Jiraxis.
I'd imagine you get the Trog before the mind control, right?
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
There's no way it activates afterwards. You mind control
You mind
Trogzor
control
and
Trog
then it gives you the Burly Rock Troll. Like what?
So
I think that might be crossing Weifu's mind just because there's no other play here other than Holy Nova, and that's also really bad because you give up your entire board.
yeah,
Oh, actually, wait, you have Sludge Belcher. Might be legitimate.
just Holy Nova.
And then, like, challenge a 3/3 with your 3/5. That might be okay, actually.
Yeah.
but mind control seems a lot better.
Wait, you wouldn't be giving up your whole board. You'd be healing up your...
Right, no, I didn't see the Sludge Belcher, so I thought if he
Okay.
just Holy Nova'd, like, that'd be really poor.
Well, if he Holy Nova, it'd bring the injured Blade Master up to 7, so he wouldn't actually die to the Trogs, so you'd keep that alive as well.
Yeah, you're right. It'd be a 4-3.
Yeah.
But that was before he drew the Sludge Belcher. Forsen wants some action.
He's tired of Weifu roping every turn. Okay, there we go.
Okay, and then I think his plan here is that he can definitely just rebound off of this really easily.
Yeah.
So is he going to use his second Siphon Soul here with Hellfire? Oh, Silence and Siphon Soul. Alright.
Yeah.
Also works.
You don't want to give him any more creatures.
Are you afraid of dying to burst by any chance? You're at 8 health.
How much burst could he possibly muster up? I mean...
If he has Holy Fire and Holy Smite, that's always 7.
Yeah.
That's just something in the back of your mind.
But...
You can also Defender of Argus with this Mountain Giant and then Mortal Coil the 4-1.
Yep. Can priests actually fit Holy Smite into their decks anymore?
Oh yeah,
Or Holy Fire?
if you're sensing aggro, I think it's a pretty. I love that card.
There's so much stuff that you're adding, though. You're adding Shrinkmeisters,
Yep.
you're adding Vol'jin.
Oh, this is a dangerous gambit from Forsen. He's just saying, I really hope you don't have Holy Nova and something else.
Wait,
Oh man.
that's game...
No, he's oh, he's got wait, he's got Holy Nova.
Yeah.
Oh, Forsen just threw the game.
Wow. Okay, well, this
I
one's...
thought he was gonna Siphon Soul afterwards.
This one's
but
done.
Oh.
Oh no. I think he realizes that he might have messed up a little bit there not playing around the Holy Nova, but it's gonna... Weifu's gonna tie it up.
You beat him with freeze versus handlock. Does he have the perfect hand to shut down aggro?
Oh, wow. This is great.
Wow, and no Undertaker, so unless there's a Glaive Zuka to back this Leper Gnome up, this Northshire Cleric will absolutely destroy. That needs to be... Oh, I was gonna say that needs to be Glaive Zuka. That's... Okay, well, I guess... Huh.
Think you would Freezing Trap in that situation?
Yeah. I mean, that's my first instinct.
Yeah. This is still fantastic, though, and he's going to get punished for not Freezing Trap.
But you know what? This does allow the opening for the Equal Horn Bow.
Oh, man. Yep.
So he shuts down his main card draw engine. But Forsen has Light Bomb, so that's like an ultimate nuke on everything.
Yeah, I love that card. I mean, it's a nuke on your own creatures as well, but a lot of the times you don't really have time. But this isn't that great of a hand for Weifu right now.
He drew so poorly.
It's
oh my God.
Wow, that is terrible.
Yikes.
And you kind of got to like to see this if you're the priest player. Just playing a trap and hero powering on this turn.
Right.
And he also has ways to deal with whatever he'd throw down, so...
He's got coin into Cabal Shadow Priest on whatever comes out next. So
what's it going to be? Well, I guess that's okay, because...
Actually pretty decent.
Even playing that...
It's like one of the better cards you could have drawn at the moment, because Houndmaster can't get dealt with easily unless he has a Pyromancer off the top.
Yeah. It's weird that the Houndmaster has a Hound already in his portrait.
Okay, Sylvanas, coin Sylvanas. It's reasonable.
Yep.
You have Shadow or Death, so you can steal whatever's on the other side. Not to mention that you also have Shadow Madness, so if you know this is if you know that this is Freezing Trap, you Shadow Madness and bounce it back to your hand.
Yeah.
The key is to not take too much damage from Hunter. That's why you see a lot of players sometimes just flat out not attacking and activating those traps ever.
Yeah. Well, he's starting to pile on the damage, and this Houndmaster is going to get pretty tough to deal with. I mean, those 4 health creatures. At first sight, when I saw that Houndmaster, I was thinking, oh, that's not great because there's enough synergy. But drawing that and just dropping on an empty board like that against Priest, that's pretty good.
Do you like playing this Web Spinner? It's coming up on turn 6. He has the Cabal Shadow Priest. He also had a chance to kill command with this 1 mana creature, so I think keeping it is for the best.
You want to be, I think you want to be absolutely sure that either you don't attack with the Sylvanas this turn, or the Sylvanas eats the freezing trap. Because if you lay that web spinner, it just gives. I mean, Shadow Banish. You have to play around Shadow Banish at least a little, and if you procs that freezing trap, then you're just gonna lose all that momentum. The little bit of momentum that you gained from your poor start.
This is a good play from Forsen, at least for what's in the hand. Until his opponent draws the high main, this is the biggest threat that he has to deal with for now. Plus, he gets to heal this turn, which is good.
Yep.
Sooner or later. Oh, man. That Sludge Belcher is not good, because you can bounce it straight back into your hand. I guess you do get a charge off the bow, but this is where Shadow Madness is absolutely ridiculous.
Yikes. Doesn't even hesitate for a second. So.
Well, the funny thing is, what if that was Explosive Trap?
Yeah.
It's just like, whoa.
Oh man.
Not quite what was planned.
Well, when he all he did was hero power and pass on the previous turn, you kind of know that it's freezing. But that's a big play because not only are you removing the Sludge Belcher, but you're also proccing the trap and giving yourself another creature to play later on. So.
This is right from Weifu as well. It's very tempting. 3 health, 3 attacks, second charge to kill off the Houndmaster.
Yep.
But you got to play consistent with what you have. I like the ordering as well because he played Explosive Trap like this. It makes it seem like it's another freezing trap.
Wow. Okay, so he's got a lot of damage right now. He's got Unleash the Hounds plus Kill Command, and it'll be turn 9, so also have enough mana to hero power. So just from his hand and his hero power alone.
Well, how does he get past Sludge Belcher? He has to Kill Command Sludge Belcher.
If he rolls 7, 12, nope. Wait, yeah.
Huffer? Huffer's lethal? Are
No.
you saying that?
No.
Oh, okay.
Be 7,
14.
12. No, it would. That's lethal. If he rolls Huffer.
Huffer
Be exactly
is 4.
lethal.
Kill Command is oh wait, you got the Unleash the Hounds instead.
Yeah, instead of the hero power. So that'd be exactly 15 damage.
If it was anything else though, if it was Leok, you'd be a little bit short.
Yeah.
6, 9,
But
11.
what else can you do?
Wait.
You can.
If it's Leok, it's actually, is it okay too? 6 plus 11. Oh.
Well, doesn't matter.
Literally the worst one. Wow, that's pretty terrible.
Yeah.
But you still go for it. Is he removing all of his opportunities though? Like, is he getting rid of too many of the beasts? That way he can't Kill Command. Something in the back of his mind for sure. You know what it is? He's saying, I need to do this damage because I know he has Sludge Belcher.
Yeah.
This is a tough decision. Forsen, by the way, there's still a trap active, and it's explosive trap, but he thinks it might be freezing, but he needs to pop it and try. Try to survive.
You think you throw the web spinner in to check for light bomb and then, or to check for freezing and then light bomb? No.
Oh, you're right. What if it's explosive, or what if it's snake trap? If it's snake trap, then you can light bomb and heal yourself.
Yeah. But now he's gonna know that it's explosive trap.
Oh, that's so troll. Well, the play doesn't change.
Yeah.
Oh.
What?
Taking the 1/1 charge, so you can trade perfectly. Okay. Okay, Forsen, I like it.
Yeah. This sort of covers all his bases here. Allows him to completely clear the board and keep his creatures healthy. He did that in a little bit of an interesting way, but I guess he's keeping his creatures alive to open up more opportunities.
Okay, so now here comes a problem. Forsen needs to actually heal above this. He can't actually attack since this is explosive trap, because if he has Kill Command, he can always just kill him. So Forsen actually needs to heal and pass here. Maybe even Thought Steal.
What would he possibly? Well, yeah, I mean, he can Thought Steal because there's no.
Because the thing is, if he attacks in, he's going to be at 5 health.
Yeah.
And he heals up to 7. His opponent can just Kill Command for the win.
Yeah. Thought Steal here is the safer play. He needs to draw into some type of
light well.
Or lethal.
Or lethal. He just keeps building up the board strong enough that he kills his opponent.
Yeah. I mean, he's got Web Spinner Kill Command. My, have the tables turned.
The thing is, you're still not... Wait, you transformed the 6 health minion, right? The 6 cost minion, right? Cabal Shadow Priest. Why would you transform Houndmaster? It's just
Because it's 2 health and it dies to explosive.
oh, you're right. You're right.
Oh,
All right.
That's
Oh
cool.
no! Okay, well that's gonna cost Forsen the game again,
Okay.
and that was a decision that didn't pay off.
Yeah. That's a little bit of an interesting choice. He's banking on the fact that he doesn't have the kill command, which is never a good thing.
Yep, he has it.
So that's going to do it.
So that's gonna wrap up Game 3. Weifu's at a 2-1 advantage. These small fringe cases are starting to really get to Forsen, where he's just not playing around these concepts. Right? Handlock against Hunter when you have this hand is excellent.
Oh, yes.
Wow. He just needs 1 taunt giver.
And that's it.
Sun Fury Protector.
And maybe an anti-heal bot later in the game for good measure.
Sure, but he's got like another equivalent of gaining that much health, which is Sludge Belcher.
Yeah, that's true. Very true.
Oh, look at this though. Weifu has double kill command.
Both of these guys have near ideal hands for the matchup that they're in.
So then who wins? If
I think Hunter would win in that
players have
situation.
the ideal hand.
I think Hunter would win in that situation. Because everything has to go right as the handlock to win in this situation, whereas the Hunter can sort of recklessly throw in damage and still be able to come out on top.
Wow, Forsen is fearless or he's on tilt because he's making these decisions to tap very quickly and take a lot of damage. I'm leaning towards fearless though.
Yeah.
And maybe slightly on tilt.
Yeah. A little bit of both.
Houndmaster here seems pretty strong, although there is an Ancient Watcher, so I think he's thinking about kill commanding as well as a possibility, but Houndmaster is really strong.
Yeah, this brings that out of range of a lot of things. Like, even if he Shadow Flames here, it's not going to kill anything. Shadow Flame Mortal Coil wouldn't even kill anything.
Shadow Flame would kill, I mean, it would kill 2
Well, yeah,
things.
but it wouldn't clear the whole board. I'm sorry.
Right.
That was my point. No, it's not going to kill anything.
Right, but it actually kills 2 things.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I'm messing with you, dude. So now here's a question. Now this is where like decisions actually have to be made, because before then, there was pretty much an understanding of how this game would pan out. Forsen's trying to lose health essentially until his opponent doesn't have preparation for Molten Giants.
I would just
This explosive trap actually might throw Forsen off for a loop.
just put him at 1 health.
You double kill command him to 1 health.
Maybe not. You'd be banking on the fact that he doesn't have anti-kill bot.
He's 1 damage off lethal right now.
He is.
Why wouldn't you?
Anti-heal bot?
Double Molten Giant anti-heal bot?
Yeah. Then you'd be...
But then
Then he has explosive trap. No, but he'd put himself up to 9 health, and then he wouldn't have kill commands anymore.
Yeah, but if he antique heal bots, he has to taunt up too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alright.
I would put him at 1, but I guess he's holding on to the second kill command for sort of that insurance. Oh, and I think that's
the game.
no. He need. Yeah.
He has no
That's
way to
game.
heal.
Wow, and just like that. Well, I guess that answers our question. Or maybe it was just Forsen playing really recklessly early on and tapping.
He tapped very aggressively. And, well, I guess he pays for it because there's now kill command into hero power as the game. So that's just like the situation it comes down to. And Weifu's going to move on to the semifinals, while Forsen, his run in the top 8 has stopped right here.
Yeah, he had decent play throughout the tournament, but he banked on the